she gets it if she gets it, because she's like,
well, dude, but it seems to me like Joe Biden fucking promised everybody and their mother that they could be vice president.
like, you're gonna be vice president, look, Yang. And Yang's like, oh.
Yeah, and then Tulsi Gabbard, you're gonna be vice president. Fucking everybody, Bloomberg, everybody. He just was like, you're gonna be vice president, and because he has dementia, and I know, Underdog, we're shit talking Biden again. I'm sorry, brother, but I have to. Because he has dementia, he probably didn't remember promising everybody else. You know what I'm saying? He has no remember. And then they're like, one of his campaign staffers or higher ups in the whatever was like, Joe, you just last week you promised Yang that you'd be vice president.
He's like, who's Yang?
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the Casting Couch. This is Double D and John Boy Wild. Ready for another wild episode of the Entitled Millennials podcast. There will be brazenly bared tits and all sorts of wild shit. But anyway, no. Yeah, talking about Reddit. It's been interesting how well it works. You know, like that Joe Biden video I did had like 70-something views. And then I shared it out to like, I got that little list over there of Reddit threads that like allow you to post without a bunch of bullshit, which is like you were talking about, it's kind of ruined compared to like how it used to be. Because like certain things that like doesn't show up or has to be improved by an admin. And,
dude,
like,
and if you go to our politics, dude,
yeah,
gotta be full of troll. Dude, that's all like the SJW liberal, like.
Yeah,
there's no room for like actual left thought or actual right wing thought at all.
Yeah.
But even if you're like actually like criticize, I don't know, it just feels bullshit to me. Like I stopped using Reddit a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's useful to promote this.
Yeah. But
just as the platform that it once was, it's not. Just like Facebook isn't.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. So like I've had good results of like putting our stuff out there and getting like I was saying, that Joe Biden video that I did had 70 views. I shared it out to like 10 different threads. Some of them, they're like smaller ones. Because all the big, that's the thing that sucks too. It's like you can't get your shit out there. Like it gets shut down. Dude, I'll like share out a link to one of our videos with like a header, like trying to start a conversation. And it will like instantly say that it was removed. Yeah. Like the second I click it, it'll be like,
it's automatic.
It's like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. But it's still really, really useful. And like I'm going to expand into that world and like find even more threads. It'll just take time. But like imagine the amount of views and stuff we can get if I have like 30 different threads that I regularly post to, you know what I mean? And then we've gotten like natural subscribers for it. So it's still good. But yeah, man, just like social media in general, it's fucking going downhill. And that kind of brings me to like this first subject that I kind of want to talk about. We originally had like a whole show planned out for you guys last week, but it's been kind of a turbulent time with like a lot of shit going on. So I don't know what we'll get to as of last week's news, because obviously there's been a lot of wild shit going on, as you know, everything in Minneapolis and whatever, and we're going to have to talk about that. But, you know, well, the big thing today is Donald Trump signed an executive order regarding freedom of speech in on social media platforms. I don't know. Have you looked into it at all?
Yeah, I mean, dude, we do need to stop these social media platforms from censoring us and shit.
Yes.
But it's like everything Trump does, like sometimes he'll make the right critique for the wrong reasons and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is all just because they're coming at him, so he feels like it's not for the good of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. So, you know, just before we started recording, I was like going down my fucking news feed and shit, and it's like all these people like posting about, you know, sharing articles and shit about it. And pretty much what this executive order did, you know, you hear executive order and you get like,
yeah,
like it's not executives. There's certain executive orders that have a lot of teeth, like the Defense Production Act, you know, war powers shit, where the president can kind of do whatever the fuck he wants if he gives an executive order. But with a lot of civil matters and shit like this, where it comes into conflict with certain elements of the Constitution, like freedom of speech, assembly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you know, what this specific executive order does is has certain agencies in the government, in his cabinet and things, begin the process of looking into censorship on social media.
Well, it's funny to me because I'm pretty sure the reason why they're censoring so much is secretly the government is involved. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
Because like when Mark Zuckerberg got called into Congress and shit, that's when all this started happening.
Yeah.
So secretly.
It started a little bit before that, like we talked about on our MK Ultra Patreon exclusive episode. We talked about this.
Dude,
it started with Pizzagate and shit.
Well, and there's even theories that the CIA was behind the creation of Facebook, like helped create it. Like you can look into that.
I never heard about that. What's the gist of that?
Well, dude, it would almost make sense to make this really good platform to suck us all in. And then the whole time the plan was to flip it into a control mechanism once they had it. Because there's no way we would have got sucked in if Facebook released like it is now.
Yeah.
Or Twitter like it is now.
Yeah.
What made it great and what brought the people in is gone. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know that it was necessary.
Yeah, who knows? But I wouldn't be shocked to find out the CIA like funneled. I really wouldn't.
Funneled money into it and like made it take off in the way that it did. Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I think that's probably pretty reasonable. And then obviously, as it got more and more popular, they flipped the switch.
Well, it's become the new corporate media in a way. Like that's what it's becoming.
It's not quite there because there's still these channels you can find. But
well, like in YouTube, like you watch a secular talk video, and the next one is CNN. Where why isn't it another secular talk video?
Yeah, and we talked about that with our own channel, and that's a little bit different because we're not a big channel and they want to give it to things that'll get more views and they know there's more of a watch time, but still it's in the same vein of like, man, quit fucking with shit, just leave it alone.
Yeah, and it's not to it's literally to control the narrative of shit, dude, and they have these bullshit excuses as to why they're doing it.
Yeah, and then coming back to Trump's executive order, I have like a bunch of people and leftists, like they're not thinking it through. We've so politicized every single thing that Donald Trump does. We're not hesitating for a moment to look and see if like, oh, hey, is this maybe a good thing? Because, and he's talking about, obviously it's for conservative voices and it's obviously for his own ass to be able to say whatever the fuck he wants. It's an ego trip in one part, but it's like, here's the thing. What's good for conservative voices is also good for leftist voices when it comes to being able to speak.
Well, I mean, dude, like when you censor people and shit, you make people like almost think maybe they're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're helping them almost.
It's like a martyr effect, essentially.
Yeah. And then there's another thing with Trump. Like he's going to override the governors that don't want to open up churches or something. Mm-hmm. And people are like, how do you have the authority? And it's like, literally, it's in the Constitution. The president can do that type of shit.
Oh, is it?
Like and these journalists should know that. So why are they like... Yeah. I don't know. It's just...
Yeah, so that's the thing I guess I want to just say right off the bat is like, yes, I know Trump is the one pushing for this, and I know it's because he's being a crybaby little bitch, or, like you said, there's some other agenda. And we'll see how it goes. They might flip the script and turn it into a thing just to control shit even more. Mm-hmm. But in my view, Trump or not, it's a good thing that we start looking into this shit. It's like, dude, the amount of shit that I've seen taken down since like 2016, but particularly taken down in the last few months because of the COVID-19 thing, is like astronomical. Like, dude, my news feed, like every other day I see at least two people be like, oh, I didn't realize this breaches, talking about Joe Biden sucking or talking about COVID-19 breaches the contract of like what's allowed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, in my view, let's not fucking politicize this. Let's watch what happens. This is good to have an investigation into this sort of shit. How do you feel about censorship on the internet? Do you think it what do you think the limits are? How do you think it should go? Should it be
I think you should let I think you should let the white nationalists spout their stupid shit, so then someone can be like, "You're a dumb fuck."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or like when a video goes viral, don't just constantly like Plandemic or whatever it was called. Mm-hmm. Dude, when you constantly delete it like that, you made it take off almost. Just people are like, why are they deleting it? And it's like, just let people debate the shit, dude.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Them taking it down isn't what made me see it as bullshit. It was the people that gave more speech and like did a video or did like the thing that I read was like literally like dude, it was almost like a sentence by sentence call out of all the dumbass shit in that. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's what I need. You gotta let me make my own fucking decision. You can't fucking nanny state me, dude.
No, that's the thing, like, that's what's happening. They want, like, full control over us. It's just obvious, dude. Even with these fucking masks and shit.
Yeah.
Or like at my job with the sneeze guards. It's all just fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't know. I'm like still processing it in real time, all this shit.
I mean, I don't know about the masks and shit. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, that brings up this is a broad question already, but yeah, it is like, for instance, my opinion on censorship on the internet is like, you should pretty much be able to say whatever the fuck you want, short of
like harassing someone and threatening them and shit,
and doxing them or calling for violence against individuals.
Yeah.
But then, like, also, I'm a little lenient on that when it comes to the ruling class. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm sort of like, let me say I want to guillotine the fuck. You know what I mean? But like,
or like someone finding all that cops information.
Yeah. So like when I see that,
I was like, ooh.
Exactly. So, but maybe that's a little bit hypocritical. But at the end of the day, you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want. I don't care how fucking full of shit you are or racist you are. And I'm not condoning that. We got a right on the other end to be like, fuck you, bitch. Well, but like, you can't take it down unless somebody's calling for violence against other human beings.
In the whole
misinformation,
and they're shadow banning people. That's what's the most fucked up, because at least ban the person
and give them a note.
When you do the shadow ban shit, like, I don't know, it's even more nefarious than outright just censoring, because you're making people think that they still are saying something, but nobody sees their shit.
Yeah, it's real fucking slick. This isn't shadow banning that happened to me recently, but like I was trying to do, I did my Joe Biden video and I was trying to put it on IGTV, and like never had this problem before. It wasn't because it was too long or too big of a file or anything. The upload wouldn't work. And well, the video is called Fuck Joe Biden, even though it's asterisked out. And so I was kind of like, I think it's because the algorithm reads that there's a cuss word right in
probably. But it's like, who gives a fuck about a cuss word, dude?
Yeah, I know. But this is just an example of like, they don't give you a rhyme or a reason. Because they didn't tell me, it just said upload failed. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I changed the title to Screw Joe Biden, and it still failed. And then I realized it fucking read the thumbnail had fuck in it too, and it read that. And so I was like, fuck. And so I didn't do the thumbnail that I spent a lot of time and effort, 15 minutes working on, you know? And so I deleted that too. It's, you know, and then it finally let me upload it. But that's just another example of, it's like, you got to at least tell me what's going on so I can fix it. You know, you don't even fucking get that, dude. And this shit's just going to get worse. Like, you know, even and I think TikTok's pushed by a bigger company. I don't know the details. I'm sure it's owned by some bigger thing.
Oh, it's got to be. It was pushed.
Yeah.
Just like Twitter was. Why did Twitter suddenly get pushed on us? Like, I remember when Twitter came out.
I thought it was kind of dumb.
Yeah, but it was literally pushed by the corporate media. Like, all these big people started using it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, and maybe that's not just a conspiracy, but it's the thing that's really powerful about Twitter is the fact that you can like shout out at somebody like who's big. Like, you know what I mean? So I see why it is, but still, no, it's, I don't know, dude. It ain't right, and it's cause for concern. I think it's just going to get worse. But like I was saying, like even with TikTok, the newer platform, like they already got the PC filter on that. You know, like
I mean, it's a fucking little kid platform, really. I mean, I know some adults use it, but
yeah. Well, I don't think it's going to stay that way.
It's like 80% girls like lip syncing and shit. I don't understand. Like, I'm joking.
It's like not though. You got to just.
Nah, I know. I'm just kind of shit talking.
What do you guys think? Do you think we should try our hand at TikTok? I think it wouldn't hurt.
Just 10-second clips of me like lip singing to Backstreet Boys and shit. Takes off
with the header at the bottom. Fuck Joe Biden. Like Donald Trump is a stooge, or just something like. I don't know. I was thinking about trying it. What the reason why I said the PC shit with TikTok is because an associate of mine who does a conservative show, Tyler Breen. Shout out Tyler Breen. He got like banned on TikTok for 30 days because he did something about pronouns. Transgender pronouns. I didn't watch the video, but there's no he didn't say anything in there that warrants him being banned for 30 days.
Yeah, it's,
you know what I mean? So they already got that.
That's why, like, with our podcast even, I know, like, if we ever do, like, reach some success, we're gonna be fucking censored, dude.
Yeah.
They're never gonna let us monetize.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's gonna
they'll let us monetize, but they'll probably crack down pretty quickly on, because like, dude, and that's the thing with YouTube too. It would be one thing if they did like bans for a short amount of time, once you hit that 3 strikes, they just take your channel from you, man.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be allowed. Like, dude, that's the thing. Getting back to this Trump shit, it's like, this is good that we're looking into this. Do I think his administration and the people that he's hired to do all this shit and look into it are going to really do the job they're supposed to? No. Probably fucking not, let's be honest. Probably go the other way. But it needs to happen. Like, dude, this is our modern day soapbox. This is our modern day forum. Mm-hmm. This is the freedom of the press. Like, the press is on here now. You know what I mean? So it's like, we need to be able to say what the fuck we want and let people have their own opinions about shit, no matter how dumb they are.
They don't want another Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
They don't even want what Obama. He's the one who first used social media.
Yeah.
In like the big way to like, they don't want that shit, dude. Because they've realized they can't control the narrative anymore.
Yeah.
That's why there's, I don't know.
Do you think that they're going to be able to 100% control it?
I mean,
like, do you because like, consider the nature of the internet. You know, when one thing goes down, another thing pops up, and I've said this before. Like, worst case scenario, we go back to the forums, vampirefreaks.com, or like all the, you know, IMDb. Like, we go to the weird ass places that nobody even knows about. You know.
It's just...
But is that as powerful? Obviously, no.
I don't think they'll ever be able to fully 100% control it, but they're definitely stifling what we once had with it. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know. And then imagine a world where everybody gets access to like the deep web, and then the internet just like takes over that. Like, it just like everyone gets that, but they'll probably make the systems that are needed for that and the software needed for that illegal if they haven't already.
Oh yeah. See, I wish I knew how to use the fucking dark web, because I like tried once.
Essentially, and if I'm wrong, somebody correct me and give us some details, but this is how I think essentially it works. So what is the internet? The internet, you know, you think of it as like this out-of-body weird thing, but literally all it is all the computers and all the servers all around the world connected via IPNs, internets, or ISPs. Right, that's all it is. It's just the network of millions of computers and servers and shit all around the world, right?
Yeah.
And those are all open to the public domain and have a public IP address. The deep web is all the shit that's not hooked up to that, but uses backdoors and ISPs in order to still be connected. So, like, here's the internet, and then there's all these like tiny little doorways that will allow you to get into the deep web. So it's like an internet that sprung up all of its own. You know what I mean? It's a network much, much, much incredibly smaller, all connected.
Well,
but
there's
privately.
no like Google. You need to know where you're going.
That's what's weird about it. Dude.
Yeah, that's how I don't understand.
Because I've watched like videos. It's like, how do you know, you just have to know like the IP address for
it's fucking weird.
for that server to get onto that thing, or the web address like to type into the URL engine. It's odd, but it's badass. And it's weird because, like, what is it? It's essentially what the internet was when it first came around in 1990. You know?
And the reason I think why, like, the military still uses it, don't they? Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Like, they probably have their own... I would
guess.
But they probably have their own new fucking... Who knows?
Yeah.
But that's why I think we're still able to access it, because they need to be able to access it, too. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Weird. Yeah, because they have their own, like, thing. Like, all the servers that are like connected to the military and all the computers and blah blah blah, etc. That's its own little dark web. That's its own little internet weaving that is not accessible to, you know what I mean? And that's what's crazy is like they could take down the deep web and shit, but like somebody will just like begin to make another one in a weird way. That fucking neckbeard in the dark of the internet, like the first URL page, and then it like sprouts up, hello, in the dark. You know what it makes me think of? Is in the first Matrix movie when he's got the fucking cathode monitor and shit, and it's like, hello, Neo, like through the fucking green. It's like, that's like what the beginnings of the dark web was like, hello, is anyone out there? And he did that every day for a month, and then finally someone was like, I don't know how I got here, but I'm here.
It just makes me so sad and depressed, dude, because like, when just thinking of how the internet was, and it was like a positive place, and it was like positive. People were just excited to be able to talk to other people.
Yeah.
Then it slowly turned into the cesspool of bullshit.
Yeah.
And everyone just wants to argue now.
I know.
Everyone.
I know.
I'm even guilty of it. Because I see someone say something stupid, and I'm like, you're dumb.
Yeah.
And then it's an argument.
No, fuck you. And then it's like you don't even know.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. And then like 20 comments later, I've argued, and I'm like, fuck.
But again, I'm not going to argue.
Yeah.
Do you think that will ever change? That culture on the internet? Do you think it's just inherent no matter what it's going to happen because the fact that you're not looking at another human being in the face?
Yeah.
You think it's never going to go
It's something
anywhere?
like that. Because, dude, like, so much of what goes on the internet would never happen in the real world. People would not be like that.
Yeah.
And people do have, like, their internet personality.
Yeah.
And then their, like, real personality. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, like, even I'm guilty of that because, like, I know, guys, like, I'll be fire and brimstone on this channel. But then, like, we were even just talking about this before the show, but, like, if you, like, confront me about, like, Mean Heel Matters, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you fucking... you hate confrontation to the point, like, it's annoying sometimes.
Yeah. Because, like, so I'll be here and be like, fuck the police, riot, motherfucker.
Yeah, meanwhile, you're, like, going into the shadows, like, disappearing in the real world.
Yeah, someone's like, hey, man, I don't appreciate you leaving at the toilet seat. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, but... I don't know. But the thing is, like, that's just like me and my interpersonal relationships. When it comes to actually speaking truth to power, I've done it many times because I can't help it. I get pissed because the system has had its way with my fucking little asshole all its life, and I'm tired of it. You know? So, I don't know, man. But this is some wild shit going on right now in Minneapolis, man. You been following it at all?
Yeah, and I actually know someone, Michelle.
Yeah.
Do you remember her?
Have you talked to her recently about it?
Yeah, she said things are fucking crazy.
Has she been involved at all with the protests?
That's what she said, her and Michael.
Fuck, we should talk to her. Fuck. Yeah. I wish I would. I'm, like, sad that this happened so short notice. I wish we had one more day, like, to shoot. Maybe even next week. You know, I don't know what kind of episode we'll do. I am talking about having a guest on. But if we can do that, and then also do one with you. Either way, I'm going to try to line up some people to talk to. Even if I just have to do like a 30-minute episode weird thing with them on Zoom or something. Because it would be nice to talk to her. I was talking to this Twitch streamer. Her name's... I haven't actually talked to her. I've like tried to reach out to her. I reached out to her. I don't understand Twitch. So I tried. There was like this live stream going on her channel that wasn't her though. From like acttv.com or something, and it was like this, like, no offense to this guy, but like it's like older, like neckbeard looking dude. And I like message, I'm like, I'm trying to get in contact with Kay Swiftly because I don't know how to do anything on there. And he's like, you need to send a whisper. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. But
Twitch sucks, dude. I don't really
it could
like
be
it
so good. But then like I also reached out on her Twitter, did like an @Kay Swiftly. I'm hoping to get a hold of her. She was there. She does politics.
See, it's weird, like when you have a blue check mark, is it like easier to communicate with other blue check marks or something? Because it seems like they're able to talk to each other.
Like I think anytime a blue check mark at anyone, you're gonna get that prioritized. Because like if Joe Rogan commented on my Twitter,
no, but it's
I'm
like
gonna probably
the way
see
they
that
talk
first.
But even the way they talk about like messaging each other, like if we send a message, they're not gonna read that shit. But if we have a blue check mark, for some reason they read it.
That's what I'm saying. It's because it probably gets prioritized and pops up to the top of the thing. Like, yo, this is somebody that professionally you're probably going to want to talk to. You know?
We'll never get a blue check mark, even if we deserve it.
We will someday.
Nah, they will never give it to people like us. I've seen people who deserve it, dude. Like,
and they don't get it.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah. You know, we'll just make our own blue check mark and like put it in the name or something. Like find a way to like do a little emoji or something. You know, blue check mark. See, we have it. We're official.
Yeah, we find a way to fake the blue check mark.
Yeah, I'd love that.
That would be funny.
But yeah, so man, this shit going on in Minneapolis is crazy. I think you guys will probably see the video I did about George Floyd before this. I think I'll upload this after. But I did a video over what happened to him and. You know, Johnny, I can't believe we're sitting here talking. I mean, I can. It's America. But the fact that we're sitting here, it's like been, 3 weeks since Mr. Arbery was murdered?
Probably 4 weeks, maybe.
Here we are again.
Well, dude, and this murder was like, not that was any better. That was fucked up, too.
That was a whole different type of fucked up,
But this was like this, I don't know, the cop just like methodically, like slowly murdering him. Like,
yeah, he knew it, dude. You can see in his eyes as he's being videotaped. And in his eyes, you can even see they're like, it doesn't matter if you see me doing this. I'm a cop. The union will protect me. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I'm gonna kill this guy. Dude,
and then there's fucking dumbasses on Facebook trying to, like, say how that wasn't what killed him and shit.
Dude, what the fuck killed him?
I'm just so sick of people, dude, being the fucking bootlickers for cops, man. Well, dude, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, dude, not just for cops, for all of it, man. Dude, I was talking on talking on the phone with my girlfriend Shannon just last night, because I had like a moment where I really got my feelings about George Floyd being killed, and not just because of him, but I just like had this moment of like, what the sitting alone in my room, I was like my heart just dropped, man. Like, what the fuck? How is this where we live? How is this still happening?
And why isn't the cop arrested yet?
Yeah, well, they fired him, and mind you, here's what's fucked up. The fact that they fired him, that's progress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Normally they get the fucking slap on the wrist and whatever, they get paid leave, and that's it. But fuck, at least they fired him. But no, that's not enough. And, I was talking to Shannon, she's like, the worst part of this, obviously it's incredibly fucked up that this man was murdered, but the worst part of this, the salt in the wound about this, is what you're talking about, Johnny, is people normalizing it. First off, the fact that we're already just desensitized to it, same with mass shootings, like this is just normal and this is what happens. But the people that are like trying to, every time somebody, numbers of people justify a young black man being killed by the police or lynched by some other motherfucking white supremacist crazy.
And they're like, he obviously could breathe because he was able to talk. Gasping words out there and you can't breathe. It's not able to breathe, you dumb motherfuckers.
Exactly, man.
Because, yeah, he wasn't probably being choked to the point of not being able to breathe the entire time. I'm sure the knee would move slightly and he could breathe for a second. It took a while to kill the motherfucker. And, dude, what got me with the video is, like, even when they come to check his pulse, he keeps the pressure on. And, like, it's just so fucked up.
Why do you need to have a knee on his fucking neck in the first place? There's 3 other cops, one holding his legs, one holding his fucking pelvis, the other holding his torso.
And it's like you would think this guy did something crazy violent. And all it was
a fake $20 bill, apparently, is what I read.
Or a fake check or a forged check is what I heard.
I heard, see, that's the thing. I heard a forged check, but I also read into it, and apparently it was a fake bill. Yeah. It's one of the, either way. And here's the thing. If it was a forged check, like, that's obviously a blatant attempt to do some kind of crime. But still, not justify fucking murder.
Even if this guy was a rapist or something, there was no reason for that to happen like that. Dude, he had the control. He was on the ground.
And even when they were dragging him out of the store, dude, I saw the video. He wasn't even fucking resisting other than the... Dude, here's the thing. It's like they get mixed up or something where... Dude, when you're handcuffed or being jostled, you being, like, thrown off guard and, like, out of balance isn't resisting.
Yeah.
That's just you being, like, terrified.
That cop needs to be looked into. How many other people did he murder?
He shot... I believe it was another black man in 2008 for a nonviolent crime. And then in 2010 or 2012, he shot a fucking unarmed Native American man.
Dude, didn't, like, Amy Klobuchar, like, fail to prosecute him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so she just probably got fucked for being VP.
Yeah, we'll fucking see, though.
Nah, yeah. Dude, I think she might have been promised the vice presidency for dropping out like she did.
Well, I think that was... Yeah.
Like, there was something, like, that's going to be the reason she gets it if she gets it, because she's like...
Well, dude, but it seems to me like Joe Biden fucking promised everybody and their mother that they could be vice president.
Like, you're going to be vice president, Yang. And Yang's like, oh.
Yeah, and then Tulsi Gabbard, you're going to be vice president. Fucking everybody, Bloomberg, everybody. He just was like, you're going to be vice president. And because he has dementia, and I know, underdog, we're shit-talking Biden again. I'm sorry, brother, but I have to. Because he has dementia, he probably didn't remember promising everybody else. You know what I'm saying? He has no remember. And then they're like, one of his campaign staffers or higher ups in the whatever was like, Joe, you just last week you promised Yang that he was going to be vice president.
He's like, who's Yang?
Yeah. Yeah. And then it just... Dude,
I saw a video of him trying to explain the crime bill and how it wasn't...
Yeah.
It didn't cause mass incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
Every time Biden tries to lie and explain shit away, he'll, like, start rambling and then he goes, anyways, and then just stops and, like, tries to, like, move on without... Yeah. It's, like, his thing, because he, like... He used to be able to lie a lot more slicker, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad now when he lies.
Yeah, you know, I see like old black and white photos of him when he was like still like kind of had thinning hair, and he was like, and every time I see them, I like it like reminds me of like some character somewhere in some old movie. Like, I don't know what or who.
Do you think he was a nerd growing up or a jock?
A jock?
My brother tried saying he was a nerd that probably got bullied and shit. I was like, no, and I looked it up. Football star. Dude, you just know that he was a bully.
Yeah.
Like, probably not to everyone. On the surface, he seems, but there was that one kid that he was
Obama.
Sociopathic and picked on. I just know it. You can see it on Biden.
Yeah. Same with Obama, dude. I feel like, and I've talked about this before, I feel like Obama was the jock that everyone adored, and he would, like, sometimes be nice to the down and outs in the whatever, high school and college. But, like, just underneath that, there was things that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he did these things that made him seem kind and great to everybody on the surface, but in private, he would do shit that was real fucked up.
Yeah, and I get the vibes way more with Joe. Like,
100%.
I weirdly don't get those vibes with as much with Obama.
No, not as much, but that's why I say it's like this weird thing where it's like more under the rug.
I know. Imagine thinking Obama was a people's president and shit. How's he worth almost $100 million now?
Hard work.
He's got that mansion in Martha's Vineyard.
He's probably really gifted. You know, just worked for it.
Like the last like
guess.
real people's president, I guess we kind of had. I guess would maybe be Carter.
Yeah.
I think Carter's kind of a neoliberal though, but he's like, I don't know what to think of Carter because he really is like a good person.
That's what it is, I think. Because there are some of the policies, dude. That's the thing with he was a mixed bag. There was a lot of policies where I was like, "Oh hell yeah," and then others where you're like, but again, he was like a product of the times a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like to me, I don't think he's in with all those fucking weirdos and sickos, but he's like, he still kind of believe he's like a. It's hard to describe. He's like a statesman that like plays the middle ground because you can make a case for sometimes playing the middle ground. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I ain't going to play the middle ground.
I saw a clip of him, like, trash-talking Ralph Nader, blaming Ralph Nader for Bush's election.
Yeah.
And isn't it crazy that people almost hate Nader more than they hate Bush?
Isn't that weird? I don't understand that. Well, it's the same thing with the Bernie shit. I mean, you know.
Yeah, dude, they hate the person who tried to actually, like, stand up against both parties more so than the...
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing.
Well, yeah, that's because that's creating that cognitive dissonance that we talked about on other episodes. That's bringing the uncomfortable reality that the whole thing's a big fucking theater, and people don't want to hear that. That's shit.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, Bernie told Chris Hedges he's not going to run third party because he doesn't want to be Ralph Nader. That's what he told Chris Hedges. Which, by the way, we should talk about Chris Hedges running for Congress.
Yeah, what's up with that, man? Have you Congressional District 12?
See, in what state was it?
I don't know.
It's
what do you think
gonna be
about
interesting.
It, though?
I don't.
Do you think he can win?
I don't know, dude. Because he sounds radical as fuck to people. Like, because he is kind of, but he's right. I don't know. I think he could embarrass like his opponents if he can get into a debate with them.
Yeah, and he's running Green Party too, which is exciting. I think this is good for a third party movement in this country. And here's the thing. He's going to appear loony to a lot of people, but so did Bernie. Like, this is good because this is just more of, like, pushing us to the left and, like, making this shit, like, heard and known. And the more we have people doing this sort of shit that are wacko to the neoliberal suburbanite Karens and Kevins, the better. It's a progression.
And what I like about Hedges is he's actually, like, he could have been one of these like elite journalists because dude, he has the connections. He's gone to those schools, so he has the mindset of how these people are.
Wait a minute, hold up, go on.
But he's like on our side. It's crazy.
Hedges ends short-lived CD12 Green Party candidacy prohibited by FCC rules.
What? So that's
Chris. Didn't this just like come out yesterday too?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Chris Hedges announced that he won't be running for Congress in CD12 after being informed that he is not permitted to run for federal office under FCC rules.
Why?
The Green Party released the following statement. Regretfully, Chris Hedges was informed shortly after he made public his decision to run as the Green Party candidate for Congress in the 12th District of New Jersey. Okay, so now we know what we originally came for. that he is not permitted to run for federal office. Hedges hosts the Emmy-nominated television show on Contact, broadcast nationally on RT America. As much as I would like to bring the platform of the Green Party into this congressional race, it makes no sense to give up a media platform with a large following for quixotic campaign against the Democratic Party machine. Hedges said, I will therefore not run for the Greens as a congressional candidate. I will, as in past elections, do all I can to highlight the progressive programs of the Greens and call out corporate Democrats, etc., etc. So, essentially, okay, so
because he
has this show,
yeah, Donald Trump is able to be president with all his businesses. I don't understand.
I mean,
it sounds like they just found a way to be like, we're not letting that socialist run.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what
and then I think
like.
He's not really combating it because he doesn't want, because
it
is the law and he wants to, you know what I'm saying?
And all the good people, dude, they just don't want to go through the bullshit, dude.
I don't blame. It's fucking hard, dude. Like, let's be real. You and I can sit here, Johnny, in front of our microphone and trash talk Barney for the decisions he made, and trash talk Chris Hedges and Ventura, because we're upset and we want him to run because we need him. But it's like,
and I don't want people to think like I'm not a Bernie basher, dude. But it's dumb to like not critique him. Like,
oh yeah,
like, you know, like I said, don't be a fucking sycophant.
Yeah,
like Bernie let us down. That's all I.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before the show too, man. It's like, there's people out there right now, and I think maybe Jimmy Dore is beginning to be one of them, that think that like Bernie was sold out from the very start.
Yeah.
And like, I my heart tells me, and the evidence suggests that's not necessarily true, dude.
I just don't believe he would.
And I fucking love Jimmy Dore.
I just don't believe he would do the like sometimes 4 rallies a day.
Yeah.
Have next to no security, literally risking his life, dude. Like anyone could have came up to Bernie and done something fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He didn't do and he didn't do all that just to like bow out.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't help the party. Like it's, I don't know.
Because dude, he doesn't. That's the thing. Like, Bernie's never had a price tag in the past. So like, why would he all of a sudden have a price tag now? Like, I guarantee there's been countless times where they offered him this or that or some other thing. And look, maybe we're wrong. If somebody has some facts that I don't have, please tell me. You know, we're talking, this is a podcast, we're thinking out loud a lot of times. But, you know, there's been plenty of times they fucking brought him a check or brought him this deal or a position or some other thing in order for him to, you know, get out of the way or do the bidding. But why is it like that he's turned down all those checks in the past, but now all of a sudden this check's big enough now? I don't know. Is there something else going on there? Like, where is he a CIA plan? I don't know. I don't think so. You look at his record, he's called for like the CIA to be abolished in the past. He's been militant as fuck for years. I don't find that to be a fucking charade that he's kept up for 40 years. I just don't buy into that, man. And like, what do you think? I don't think that's the case.
No, but then like you see how he refused to go at Biden at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dude. It's just like I really just don't think he even should have ran again. And it sucks to say, but it just feels like a giant waste of time. In the movement, you said this could be good for the left. It seems like the movement's been kind of crushed, dude. And now we're what the left always does when we get fucked.
Turns on each other.
We divide. Like we splinter off.
Well, that's why the Nazis always end up taking, like, fascistic regimes always end up taking powers, because we can't fucking... Dude, the left...
And if I see one more old fucker say we need to elect Joe Biden to save democracy, I'm gonna fucking snap, dude. How is this senile dumb fuck, who's been corrupt his entire career, helped usher in all the modern bullshit, going to save democracy?
Well,
democracy's already like fucking dead. It's not, dude.
The only semblance of it that exists still is on the local level, and that's still polluted.
Biden's been a puppet of the elites his entire career, and I don't know. It's just hilarious.
I mean, but have you thought about with Joe Biden saving democracy? Have you thought about the thing and in FDR and 2 centuries in his hairy legs? And people not being black. Have you thought of that, though?
Have you seen the thing?
Have you thought of it, though, Johnny?
Just, dude, there's an article out there saying he's going to be the new FDR, Biden.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I saw this person put up like some meme article thing. It looks like a legit ass thing from Times magazine, like paper, and it's like super detailed about like Joe Biden like taking power, and it's got like segments on it where it's like GOP endorses Biden's cabinet and apologizes publicly to the nation. Like, and it's just all these little things, like different stories in the New York Times, like the day that he takes office, and it's like the dream world that these people are fucking living in that they think's gonna happen, and it's hilarious to see it like put into print. And what's more hilarious but also disturbing is people are like, yeah, underneath the comments. I'm like, you don't get we're making fun of you, but all right.
In like that Trump ad attacking Biden.
Yeah.
And it says at the end, it's like, Joe Biden may not remember, but we do.
Dude, I love it. I love it, man. I can't wait for that national debate stage.
Dude, I really don't believe Biden's gonna, like, it's just nuts that he's gonna be the nominee.
Do you think there's any hope at all that he can win because of all the shit that's happening with Trump right now?
I mean, people are so stupid, so I don't know. But either way, it's just depressing because, like, I don't want him to win, but I don't really want to see Trump reelected again either.
Yeah. Well, it's a catch-22 lose-lose.
But also, it's not good that we elect a senile fucking puppet.
Raper. Also raper. Don't forget the raper. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think he can win, but at the same time, there's part of me that sort of thinks maybe he could because of how scared these dumb people are, thinking that it really will be better than Trump. There's that. But then also...
But dude, a lot of people
Trump's
love
like
Trump,
pissed.
dude.
I know, that's the thing, but Trump's also pissed off the establishment in some weird ways that we've talked about.
Well, yeah, dude, the way Biden acts, it's like he knows he's had it in the bag the whole time. It's
But
very
then again,
weird.
that's how Hillary Clinton acted. And we're seeing the same thing like what we did with Hillary, like the model predicts this and that because of the economy. And it's like, well, none of that ended up being true either. It's just all ended up being fucking smoke and mirrors, so... I really don't think it's going to be a whole lot different, you know? That's what my guts are telling me. He's going to lose horrendous. Even if maybe... Dude, there's just going to... So many people are going to sit out. It's not going to be able to counterbalance the amount of Trump supporters.
Dude, every time the guy makes an appearance, he has a moment, like a major fuck-up. That you ain't black thing, dude, he's barely being asked a hard question, and he snaps.
You ain't black.
How's he going to debate Trump?
We don't have, like, any followers on our Twitter, but I tweeted out... I wish we had more because like I would do some funny. We'd both do some funny shit on there. So follow us on Twitter if you haven't already. Twitter.com/ENT Millennials. But I tweeted out. I was like, I tweeted at Joe Biden. I said, "So if I vote for you, do I get to be black?"
Yeah.
So
I know what the fuck. And then I loved his his response afterward. He was like, "I was being too cavalier."
Yeah.
I just see like 4 staffers sitting around. They're like, "What the fuck are we gonna do?" And one's like...
He said, I'm sorry for being a wise guy.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been such a wise guy.
And then he's like, he was being cavalier. That's it. He's being too cavalier. And then that's what they run with.
Well, and when he said that, you could just see the senile, like, shit in his face. He gets, like, goat-eyed.
Dude, his eyes...
They're, like, glossy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's bad.
It's fucked up. I'm going to take a quick second and pee, and then we'll pick up on another subject.
Okay. Probably just cut this part out, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's like to blow my nose out.
I like that I've gotten used to being able to do that.
Yeah, it's nice because it takes the pressure off if we need a moment.
So I want to look at something quick because I kind of want to talk about some of the shit going on with China.
I'm like nauseous. Need to eat something.
Yeah.
Real good food. Might go to
Yeah, this is all like old news mostly, except I do want to talk about some of this China stuff.
I always like forget the name of Boulder Tap House. It's weird. Like I'll be like, what is? It's like my mind cannot. Oh yeah, they have like a lettuce wrap. It's fun.
All right. Anyway, we're back. So I want to come back to the riots for just 1 second. Like, what is your opinion on this? Because I've been kind of looking into like revolutionary politics and action recently. Just it's a subject that interests me, and I think it's going to be increasingly relevant.
If some of it's sparked by agent provocateurs. Like, who knows?
Sure.
But dude, like, it's just going to cause the police and whatnot to have a reason to shut any protesting down.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't. And like, why are you using a black man dying to go loot a business? It's stupid to me. And you're right. Like, I don't give a fuck about Target.
Yeah.
Like, you see people trying to defend Target. It's like, why are you fucking defending this?
What was that? You saw some old...
some old woman in a wheelchair. She had a knife and was trying
in a wheelchair, nonetheless?
Dude, yeah. And then these people are like, fuck you, bitch. And they just start throwing shit at her. And then I watched her get interviewed after, and she's like, in like shock. And she's like, I was attacked. Meanwhile, you were like blocking the doorway trying to stab people, too. Like, really? Did you really need to get involved in it?
That was Target. A good, if there was ever a good Christian there, she was.
And then I'm seeing, like, there's, like, white, like, Trump supporters with guns, like, protecting businesses. And I, like, saw the interview with them. It was weird, like, they're like, we want justice for them, but we need, like, to protect these businesses, too. And I don't know, I was like, yeah. He's like, I imagine, like, before cops, there was just concerned citizens, and that's what we are. I was like, oh.
And they were Trump supporters?
Yeah.
Do you know that as de facto?
I mean, dude, they had to have been. But okay. No, I don't know.
Okay.
Like, they didn't say they were, but...
Sure.
If you look at these guys, those are...
You can make an inference.
They're like the image of a Trump supporter.
All right.
Like, if they aren't, holy shit. Like, I guarantee they drive trucks.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
What's your hang up with trucks, Johnny?
Dude, I'm telling you, like, when we've knocked doors, you know this. Uh-huh. If there's a truck in the driveway, Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Like, very rarely is it not. Like, statistically, I'm guaranteeing if you drive a truck...
That's because they're working people.
No, that's what my boss said.
They want a working president.
That's what my boss, he drives a truck, and he's like, yeah, they drive a trucks because they fucking actually work. And I was like, oh, you son of a bitch.
I mean, it's true to a degree, but it doesn't change the fact that you're dumb as hell. I'm sorry, man. It just doesn't. But yeah, I'm torn on this, man. I support the Black Lives Matter protests. I support, obviously, this is just a no-brainer. But, okay, so two parts to this, and we sort of talked about this already, but one part of it is I understand the looting and what is that MLK speech? Riot is the language of the unheard.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get it. Because it seems like the ruling class and status quo people, the only language they understand is one, money and violence, and they lose money in this, even if it's insured. It's time spent dealing with a problem. And then there's another aspect to that side of it too, which makes me, I don't know if I want to use the word condone, but makes me at least understand, is what about this pandemic and shit? How many of these people are out of jobs? You know what I'm saying? There's all this merchandise and these riots going on, and they're like, well...
Why is Target being targeted? Like, it seems like all the Targets are...
What the hell? Hey, sorry. We're recording. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I keep seeing articles, it's like all the Targets in the area.
Well, I read one thing that said Target funded the campaign, or I can't remember.
So there's like a reason there.
Yeah, there's a reason because they like funded either the police union or somebody that got that guy off that murdered George Floyd. There was like a reason behind them specifically targeting that.
And I will say something about the mayor. I don't know much about his politics, but people keep like complimenting Andrew Cuomo for his leadership and shit, and I don't see it. To me, he acts like a mob boss piece of shit. But this mayor, I was like, damn, I want him to run for president. Like, I had that like establishment-y, like, wow, he's well spoken.
Yeah,
he's the white Obama.
He's very handsome as well. Yeah, I thought so.
And I was like, damn, that was like the way he talks, dude. I was like, shit.
He kind of looks like Justin Trudeau a little bit.
I could see him being like their next puppet.
Yeah, I don't know his politics though, but he was right on this. These people need to be arrested and shit. So I hope that maybe he's more progressive in
I liked what he said. He's like, there's so many things put in place to make you, as like a politician, not speak up.
Yeah.
And like he said,
he's talking about the police unions and the sway they hold over political elections, man.
Yeah, it was epic, kind of.
It was some real shit.
Yeah.
And I condone and I respect him for that, and I hope his other policy stances and politics are good. I mean, who knows? It's hard to get mayor without playing the dick sucking game, but
it just seems like people in Minnesota, even like the scumbag politicians, aren't quite as scumbag as other states.
In a weird ass way. I know what you mean, except Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah, she shouldn't.
But even her in a weird way,
she's better than some.
Yeah, man.
I just don't know how you went from Paul Wellstone to fucking her, and Al Franken. I mean, I understand Al Franken a little more. He's like a comedian.
Sure.
Charming a little bit.
Yeah.
But she's just like, dude, she sounds timid when she speaks, dude.
She shakes.
And like I saw older videos, she was worse. She was
really?
Nerdy.
Uh-huh.
There's no reason she should have got elected. And I know the shaking.
Anointment, you know.
Yeah.
Whoa, all right. Sorry, guys. Had to pick this back up again. We just had like a complete system failure for a minute, so sorry about that. What were we talking about? Klobuchar being a piece of shit, I think.
Yeah, and like... She like brings up Paul Wellstone's name.
Oh yeah.
Like she's like fighting in his image or something. It's like, dude, you're nothing like Paul Wellstone.
Not even close, baby.
You're like what he was fighting against.
Exactly.
Fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, it's like that's like spitting in the wound. It's just like the same way these corrupt ass politicians that not only don't give a fuck about black people, but don't give a fuck about working class people in general, use Martin Luther King and Malcolm X's name.
Yeah.
It's like they like canonize these people into the legend.
Dude, even like these African American politicians that are so respected, they are fucking corrupt as shit, dude.
Yeah, I know.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
They're not serving your community. And the African American community like hails them as like heroes. It's like, dude, they're the same fucking thing, but they're African American.
There's a phrase for them, but we don't have the right to use it.
No. I know, right?
So we will not, but I'm sure you know what we mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, one other thing I wanted to talk about before we close this out, and this is probably going to be a really weird episode just because we got interrupted, like, and weird shit happened. I don't know, the universe is conspiring against us because we're discussing revolution. But politics has been wild as shit recently because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But one of the things that's been going on, I don't know if you paid much attention to international politics, but China is not wasting any time and is using the COVID pandemic to their advantage right now. Have you been paying attention to anything that's going on? Do you have any thoughts at all?
I actually have not been paying that much attention to the China stuff.
Okay,
so I'm interested in hearing what you...
Sure. So one of the first things that happened was China's Bastard Act against Australia. Okay, so I don't know if you paid attention recently. Recently, officials in the Australian government came out and were like, what the fuck's going on with China's response? And they want to do a UN or a WHO investigation into the Chinese response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And 2 days later, or a week later or something after, Australian officials coming out and saying this, China implemented the Bastard Act, which is a ban on Australian meat imports into China.